You can't hear me. You couldn't hear me just now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I realized I had muted this last night. Welcome to today's stream. This is going to be for Cal State Long Beach's Pacific Standard Time. Many-time multi downbeat award-winning vocal jazz ensemble, similar to the one I wrote for 2 days ago for Folsom High School, and also in California. There's a lot of great vocal jazz in California, as I learned being out there. Good morning, Yaron. My moderator is on time as always. Good to see you, buddy. The arrangement here is of Lionel Loueke's Tribal Dance. This is from oh gosh, I had this. I think 2012. This song, they released this tune. I have done most of the lifting. I'm going to try not to do any. I'm going to try not to have to do any transcription today from the recording, just to see if I can possibly have this whole stream be without having a copyright hit or whatever. So that because that way they won't put ads on it automatically, since I don't put them on. So it would be just nice if I can get away with that. And I've lifted everything that I think I need for the tune, like all the essential elements of the song that aren't the development that I'm going to do. They're all here already. So I'll be able to play it, and maybe the algorithm, or not the algorithm, the audio fingerprint identification system won't discover me here. But I'll talk you through what I've got so far. First of all, I have tea, as I am wont to have in the morning. Okay, so this tune, if you go and listen to it, you could take a break if you wanted to early at some point and go listen to Lionel Loueke, Loueke, Lionel, first name spelling, his tune. I know I should. If I have to listen to the headset, I would need to use headphones and go off the iPad. That's the way I'll do it. It's just kind of a drag. I've thought about it. I've imagined, I've pictured that, and not that every second of my streams is interesting, but it does seem a little brutal if I'm like listening to something on headphones for a while. Oh, here's what I just heard. But I've been thinking about that as a possibility. But I think I'll just bite the bullet, or I'll just take it basically and have take the copyright hit, because it doesn't cause my channel to need to go down or something. Each time it's like, hey, we're going to monetize your video for you, and it just I don't know, it's a little less than desirable for people to have to watch ads at the beginning of my videos. But so yeah, this tune is real cool. I love the harmony in it. It's got that it's got Robert Glasper on keys, and Mark Juliana's on this recording. It's a really nice, it's a really great group playing this record. And the sound is that sort of neo soul thing that you kind of come to expect from Glasper compositions. Lionel is obviously in that world too. He can be, and as is Gretchen Parlato, who sings on this recording beautifully, gives us that lovely, airy quality that again reminds me of Matheny sounds because of how much time I've spent in Matheny world. But the beginning of this is we're going to distribute some vocal body percussion / cool whispery breathing kind of stuff, and that's just from the recording. This much of it is taken straight from the recording. We will go away from the recording and actually expand on it quite a bit. The original tune is very cyclical. The form comes right back around. There's not a lot of development, and I intend to develop today a little bit more. We are going to write for guitar. We got Rhodes. Piano is the current plan, and then electric bass. So it's a lot of warmer, softer sounds in the rhythm section, which I think matches the neo soul thing pretty well. But there is piano in the original recording. Theoretically, it'd be nice if PSD decided they wanted to split that up too. So the opening groove. What do we have in the? I imagine one person, a soloist, possibly, oh no, I was going to say not a soloist. It's on the solo line, but 2 singers. I guess at least you could do this with more than just the 2. Doing this. So, you know, like that. I think it's pretty obvious as long as you think of it dot 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 as being the outs. Ha 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 ha, and then they'll breathe in on all of the beats that they're not accenting, and that gives the full 8th note. And if you have a beagle around, they could do the same part, most likely, if you can just train very specifically those accents. The tenor part comes in on the 3rd bar now with body percussion, and I've just written in some grooves. To play on the chest or the thighs or something like that, just body padding, that kind of stuff. And it can be improvised, it should be improvised, but really groove it in solid 8th notes. And I'm sure they'll be awesome at that. Did I mention this group is really good? So yeah, anything we assign to them, they will be able to pull off spectacularly. We don't want to hurt them and make it extra hard, but you know, we can give them some stuff to do. When I was watching this morning some other videos of PST from over the past few years, you know, different performances they've done. I know I know a lot of those singers, and I know that they're one to be pushed, and to explore what their possibilities are. So I'm excited to try that. Mostly, one of the new things I'll continue. Oh yeah, by the way, this is hi-hat. Alto's on sort of a hi-hat thing. And the bass is coming in on tongue clicks sounding like claves. Just that thing, that kind of tongue click. Not that click, but like a dark round kind of click. We don't know how to do that. And this pattern is what they'll do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You know, so they'll do that in this opening section until it gets into until the rhythm section comes in, and we'll have the rhythm section come in while the groove continues and kind of fades out. Around here, I'll have it fade out. And then probably have a little vocal stuff happening in the secondary intro, which is what this is. So, yeah. And I've chosen to write this in 3. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can do 6/8, duck it. I like to be in America. You can do that. I've chosen I just kind of I've always felt things like that. Even Minuano 6/8 by Pat Metheny, my chart on that is in 3. It's a fast 3. To me, I like the subdivision of, you know, into 2, 2, 2. But and then the tune itself is here, and the melody is okay, so that's the basic melody. Goes between a few little modes, but it generally it has a lot of common tones to it. There's your magic right there, if you had any wonders. Which is really tough. This is major 7. I love this phrase. All of that is in B major 7, but it's kind of an interesting part of that chord. Oh, I'm sorry, I give that. And then, what you really need to do, that ba-da-da, is really an important part there. So, as I've kind of set this up, I realize I have a sea of bars here that I need to break into another rehearsal letter. So let's really quickly make that decision. So between 54 and 86 is 32 bars. And so let me get halfway, and it's 16 bars. I'll find a good halfway spot here. 8, 16. So yeah, it is ba-da-da-da-da. So that can be our bar line, which is nice. Or double bar rather, in rehearsal letter, and breaks that up a little bit. That happens later, and I'll just remember that that's how I handled it. Then this section, okay, there's a bridge. So it's this is one of those, like, it anticipates like the C natural doesn't fit. It would be like but I've done that before. I've used that trick, which ignores a little bit of jazz theory, that particular thing. But of course, you can do that when you want to, as long as you mean it, as long as you are intentional about it. And so that's what that does. So this little section floats a little bit more. Oh, very simple. So much of the music that I've loved over the years has used that kind of harmony. So I particularly love this. So I believe this is probably 16 bars here. Yeah, I did the math right. Put another double bar in rehearsal letter. Taking a couple lines out of the bass part from the recording, just to kind of capture some of the incidental reharm that happens because of that. So the way they perform this is the double header. We'll probably do the same thing, and then it goes into solos. And solo section, we'll write this through, figure out how to get out of it. It's going to be leading up to a coda figure that has this drum solo vamp, that sort of trope of Monterey Jazz Festival tunes or something. I'm just picturing, live jazz loves to do these hip modal endings. Recorded, we do it on recording too, but it's a great thing to do, to feature your drummer live. Well, this is the progression here at the end that we'll end up using to vamp. So I'll just snag that when it's time and write a bunch of vocals for that. Now, Jeroen will notice that I'm writing with open score today. I was thinking a little bit ahead about this idea of the multiple body / mouth percussion kind of things that we're going to have the group do at the beginning, but also kind of nice on this one because the tune, it's got some cool blocky harmony. That's one great feature of it. Really cool melody, but the original doesn't develop very much. It relies on the color and the texture, the contours that the players are creating individually, but we need to write some stuff in, and I think a lot of that's going to happen from polyphony. So we'll see how that goes, but that's my first inclination. I don't know how much I'll want to split it. I could go as far as an 8-part. Well, I could go as far as whatever. Individually, everyone has their own notes. With PST, I could write them anything, but for practical sound purposes, I think I would probably go as far as maybe splitting to 8 at some point. So bass, baritone, 2 tenors, 2 altos, 2 sopranos at times is feasible and available in my perspective as I'm starting this today. So all of that is the kind of the basis of what we're doing, and then we'll get started. So let me finish setting up this. What I was just writing is this is going to be like I'm just going to give them this steady groove. This isn't exactly what happens, but imitating hi-hat. Hi-hate? How about not that? This isn't exactly what happens. It's a little freer on the original because it is in this case actually I believe a hi-hat. But I'm gonna go ahead and write it this way, and then I think I'm gonna start using, where possible. How big is the choir you're writing for? Between 12 and 16, most likely. So yeah, if I wrote 8, then there would be some individual people on individual parts, yeah, doing their own thing. Actually, I'm gonna put. They are worth checking out on YouTube. For sure, finding some recordings of them would pay off. They're really excellent group. Oh, this is weird. I have an extra bar here. Huh. How crazy is that? Did I actually write the correct number? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Wait, hold on. This whole section actually is. Wait, this whole section is supposed to be. Oh, this is way too long already. Yeah, this whole thing, it's just, yeah, what am I doing? It's not that long. This whole thing is just 16 bars up front. And the different parts are supposed to come in, let's see, I think like every 2 bars, kind of. Here's 2 bars this, 2 bars this, a little early. So that's kind of where that would enters. 4th thing to enter. Tongue click is the 5th thing to enter. We'll let that settle for a while, or I think. Yeah. I actually think what I'll do is bring in this a little sooner than it kind of comes in the recording, really. I'm probably going to ultimately go back to the recording because I want to kind of get a sense for when we actually start getting real drums and stuff in there. I'll find a way. Okay. Yeah, this tune does use guitar. Just so you know. Let's see. So I'm going to keep doing this 5 bar pattern of 4 clicks and a rest that times out probably not perfectly with my yeah, it doesn't time out perfectly, which is fine. You know what I'm going to do is this last 4 bars, I'm going to make this a decrescendo. I'm going to get the singers out of there for 4 bars, out of doing the clicky clicky clackities, and then have them ready to, and we'll set them off in this section here. I do think though drums continue to do the same thing, and so I think what I'm gonna do here is go ahead and write repeat bars for the drums so that they kind of just slightly simplifies the way they're looking at all this, and it adds those for me, which I love. Does that automatically. So that's pretty cool. And the 4 and the 8 and all that. So I will give some due credit to Sibelius for thinking of that. I'll bet that was Spreadberry and, and his people. Okay. In this case, I'm going to write. Let's see. How do I do this? Oh, it's ultimately going to be on the tenor clef. I'm going to change it later. This is a thing I have to do like at the end. Change this to the tenor clef. Actually, I think I just wrote a chart where I didn't change that at the end. Oh boy, you guys. Oh yeah, you should hear. All right, if we get over 10, people, we'll take a break, and we'll listen to Wrapped Around Your Finger that we just mixed yesterday. Oh, it sounds good. Did I play Fire for you yet? I don't know if I played Fire. I might have that also to play for you. So yeah. So if all of a sudden there are 10 or more people on, I'll do that. But it was very, very nice. Julia sang the heck out of it, and we put together, I think, a nice sounding demo on Wrapped. So this is going to be, these are actually going to be slashes like this that eventually will look like they're in the right place. And so yeah, copy for the rest of time. Yeah, put that out here. That's going to look correct eventually. Now, oh, and I'll put my decrescendo for this thing. But what do these have? So we'll say tenors continue. Continue improv body percussion, I guess that's what we're going to say about it. Oops. I don't know where to put this. Make it smaller first of all. That's fine. Okay, and then they've got their so they're going to keep that up. I'll write them another one. Beginning here, and then I'll do 2 more of them, and decrescendo. Actually, yeah, I think I'd like this to. Let's have drums open up to. Yeah, let's have drums here open up to. It's the quickest way and the most fun. Drums now is going to open up to playing. We have to describe the groove. So ride. Let's say sparse Afro-Cuban. I'll say 2 ride sparse Afro-Cuban groove. I'm gonna say, maybe I should even say sparse modern. Is there something to that? Is that worth saying? Is that dumb? I think that might be dumb, but it does. It seems like this. There's something to it that's a little more informed by modern recordings. So anyway, I want this to kind of come in here. Yeah, and then that can continue. I don't usually write the drum part until like basically everything else is done. But I'm gonna actually take advantage of the fact that I'm not listening to the original recording and make allow that to push us into you know, creating some new material. Let me talk only into my cup, please. So like this is a spot. I know this doesn't happen. I don't believe this happens, but let's have them wash out. For 2 bars here. And I'll just say light fill. Yeah, what the rhythm section does in this is fairly significant. Yeah, pretty important. You know, I almost never want those technique comments or those technique text things to be 6. Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to put this. I'm just going to make it 5 and 5. Do that. And so every time I add one of those now, it's going to be the correct size because I always end up changing that. Da, 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 da. Yeah, there you go. That's what I wanted. Okay, cool. So this is where it washes out. Yeah, mostly cymbal based here, I think. And then now we're going to get a little bit more like rim clicks and yeah, less cymbal based in this next section. So so I think that's the deal. Maybe I'm going to redefine this a little bit. To ride. Let's see. Yeah. To ride. Sparse. Well, that's right. Symbols only. To ride only. Eighth patterns. I'll put a light fill here, and then back to no light fill, no light fill. We don't introduce the groove and too much of the groove there. And then I think that's probably enough information because I just want to continue that ting 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 ting, and then we'll get here. Let's redefine the groove. Rim clicks, Afro-Cuban, let's see, Afro-Cuban, Afro-Cuban groove, played mostly on with rim clicks, toms, and let's see, and kick, I think. I think that's how I'd like it. And we'll see what Matthew comes up with on that. But I think that's how I want this done. And then that continues. Then I know that this is going to crescendo. So I'm just going to write, I'm going to go ahead and notate this as floating. It's so interesting to write the drum part first, but yeah, this is such a crucial underpinning of this tune. Let's see, oops. Rhythmic notation there, and then float, color with ride, eighths in ride. I think that will totally make sense. That's my hope. Yeah, I think they'll hear this. Wait. I'm missing a bar. Did it again. Yeah, this is symmetrical, this tune. This isn't, shouldn't be switching over to having rehearsal letters on, oh, do I have another one? Yeah. Rehearsal letters on even bars right now. So if I've done that, then I know I've goofed something up. Let's see, let's just do two. I'll have them fill for 2 bars here. So 2 bar fill. Fill into previous groove. And then now we have previous groove. And I will once again call it what it is. Afro-Cuban clicks. I'm just going to write Afro-Cuban clicks. And they will hopefully remember that. Clicks and kick. Afro-Cuban again. Clicks, and kick. Clicks, toms, and kick. I'll just say clicks, toms, and kick. It would have been clicks and kick is cute sounding, but it's less helpful. And then, yeah, through this whole statement of it, yeah, actually, shoot, we have this, and I can copy. It's interesting. Getting through this much of the drum part at this point. It's very unusual for me. But let's do the same shtick. Let's do the same deal going into the next floaty section. So that repeats that idea. Why I'm missing another bar again? I see, but it doesn't matter so much here because this is the end of what I've notated thus far. And I think that's as far as I'm gonna go before figuring out what the throats are gonna do. So let me finish. Yeah. That's what this yeah inhale ha is. One two yeah. So whispered but aggressively, you know, like one of those deals. Let's write another one of those. Yeah. But then we're gonna do the same shtick here with. I'll just copy those, and then do that same deal, and same deal again as they have with the yeah. That gets to go. These cats are working hard. What is it? So they get to keep doing that. And then, yeah, they got to stagger breathe or they're going to pass out. They might anyway. It's challenging. But that goes away. And then the rhythm section takes over a little bit from the singer, so we've passed the rhythms off to the band. Oh yes, I will figure out all the guitar stuff later. Well, maybe I might in the middle of it have some lines to give him or her. I'll put the changes in all the places that they belong. But at the moment, we're solid. Okay, and then the other thing I'm gonna do on this tune is, for my own sanity, I'm gonna wipe out. I think if I tried to play this, it would be insane and chaotic, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's just dumb. I'm just gonna like have it not play. If I not that I'm really likely to try to play something from here, but I don't know. I'm just gonna do it real quick. Get rid of that. Do not play. I guess it's partially so I can kind of listen to this and swing it again. Okay, so then the thing that happens here is dum dum. So we know that. So let's, and then we have the other pattern that comes in like this. Yeah, so it's an interesting way they do the form on this tune. Let me go ahead and throw these in, these chord changes. Okay, left hand Yeah, rhythmic stuff is so much harder to imagine how it sounds together compared to some of the other charts I've been seeing you arranging, which are more melodic and harmonic focused, right? Yeah, definitely reminds me of some of Mertzi's patterns. Yeah, it is. It's that kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah, mojito, mojito, I like to mojito, mojito. Yeah. um, oh yeah, that's right. Let's make mojito, mojito, mojito. Yeah, that was a double pattern, but yeah. I can't remember what her chaqueta. She had one for 6/8. Back at the so yeah, but it's similar to some of those patterns. A little different, but yeah, I mean it is Afro-Cuban, this tune, so that is, we are borrowing from that tradition for sure. Okay, so they're out, and then the singers are going to be in. I kind of want to write these patterns. Let's see. I'll just do it like this, I think. This song I'm gonna end up playing, like actually playing the piano part when I make the demo for this, because it's I'm not going to be really able to write it out and capture it, and it's not necessary with particularly when you're writing this kind of a chart. It's almost entirely performed by groups where the pianist is familiar with reading changes and they would prefer it. Some of the others I've been writing recently stand the chance at although they are probably going to be that is the original commission. They're performed by groups that are like that have piano players that can do that. I'm sometimes writing those parts also, the slashy piano part, but also notating it because I know in the future it's going to be useful. And while I'm thinking about the tune, I might as well do it in 8 months or whenever I'm starting to prepare the stuff for publication. I'm not really going to want to think about not going to want to go back and redo those charts. So yeah, so I'll just replicate that a couple times on 10. So and then this can be slightly different. So this is just, it's almost the same. Actually, it's just this. And they'll know to do something different. But yeah, this is essentially the idea of this little bit. So now that's this. The singers. The singers get to start now. Let's see. So knowing that we have a letter C, so we're probably I know we're going to get a statement of this. Yeah, we're going to get a statement of it. Even again, this is for artistic reasons, not for logistical. The group needs an easy section. This is definitely not about that. They don't need anything to be easy for them to do. However, musically, this doesn't want to. This next section is going to be good with the simpler, just the melody statement one time. And again, that comes from the original inspiration. But let's give them in the previous 16 bars something interesting to do. So. So I'm just going to write a soprano part. Let's see. We're going to go down here. There's a C in the alto that I copied over. Yeah, thanks. That was a reminder that sometimes they're using a sharp 11 in. Yeah, I don't mind grabbing that, but it was yeah, good catch. It's here. And I wrote the sharp 11 into the score to kind of remind myself also, but yeah, that was a placeholder for. Yeah, it was intentional in this case, but good catch. don't hesitate to tell me when I do a stupid thing, a stupid looking thing like that in the future. But that was on purpose. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Let's do. Yeah. Da, da, ya, da, ya, da, ya, da, ya, da. Not yet. Not yet. Ya, da, ya, ya, ya. What is it? Ya, da, da. Ya, ya, da, da, ya, da, da. I'll just go to here. And he says save frequently. Exactly. My autosave does a pretty good job of catching me when Sibelius crashes, but it's definitely a good idea. Let me do it. Okay. Let's actually I'm gonna change the layout here. Let somebody below do the interesting stuff on the third bar of that. And then yeah, and then okay, cool. This is that. This is what that's meant to do. So now Jeroen, you'll notice, man, this is going to change this changes how I write for sure. It changes how I think of it now. Now that I start thinking one line at a time, it's possible that I'll be as well. I won't be as vertically integrated for sure as I normally would be, and that means the chart won't be like it won't have the same effect. It's going to have more interweaving stuff because I'm going to end up thinking more individuals. More focused on individual sections at any given time, which is kind of how I'm starting now. So I'll start with kind of what the piano part does in the first section, so altos. Yeah. So that's the first move here. Yeah. And then something like that I'll think of doing now, whereas I wouldn't if I wouldn't likely give as much consideration to that stuff if I were writing soprano alto in one staff. So and let's give them a break on beat 3, and then let's take them up, I'll stick with that for a second. I'll let one of like the tenors or one of the underlying parts fill in this gap, and I'll breathe the gals together, and then yeah. Here's the C. It's the equivalent of what you're talking about before. Maybe I'm not gonna. I was thinking just now about adding a D flat to the sopranos and doing second soprano up there, but nah. Yeah, and then I'll give them a break. And then, yeah, that'll be kind of interesting with the sopranos and altos trading off, yeah, and then they'll have it back. I think that's interesting. What's the landing chord? Just a triad. It's a triad. So, not as interesting as you thought. As I thought. More like. Just tertian at the end of this. 2 bars, decrescendo. And yeah, I'm into this thing now of writing the dynamics on top, and I've decided to completely abandon my left aligning thing after the debacle of how that last chart looked. Like man. So I'm done. I'm now done with that. I think I am. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with this. I'm just gonna go with this old thing, center aligned chords, and assume that it's not actually affecting people's lives badly. I've had a decent career up to this point doing it though. I'm just not gonna change it now. Okay, so what are some other lines then that we can? Where else can we go here? Let's see. I'm gonna do a little less motion at the very beginning here. Tenors are singing the only other note that I feel like I want in this chord. No, you know what? Actually, let me do this. I always export as MXL, import into Dorico, see how it looks after I'm done. Yeah. I know. Yeah. No, not that interesting yet. Let's just trade places with the sopranos. Okay, alto's covering that spot right now. Let's see. Not inspired to do any more. 2, 3. yeah, I'll just leave them there. Because actually the sopranos cover the da 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 da. They're covering the fourth bar. Here I kind of want to find a way to get the tenors to do it. But let me get the basses started now, because now it's da, da, yeah. Mm. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah. Get them on the 11th here instead. That'll be hipper sounding. And then, yeah, basses can have the root. They can have it, but oh well. We'll have an incidentally kind of bad chord on the third beat there. Yeah, but it'll get us into this really nicely. And then they just sit there for a second. They are pretty functional on this. Oh, actually, let's have the basses lay out this first bar then, because if they're not needed, let's have them hold through. Yeah. I don't know. Moves faster than I want it to. Oh, I'm not gonna like that. I don't want tenors up there so soon. Do I? Actually, yeah, this might be kind of cool. So yeah, I'll give them. And then they can hold that over. It's really spread out. It's really spread out there. Okay. Oh, hey, it's Christine Gooder. It's the superstar of the day. She is the one who's going to teach all these notes that currently have no syllables attached to them and may even not be the correct ones. She's going to teach them to the group. Hey, I'm writing an open score on this. Isn't that interesting? What do you think of that? First of all, the reason I did that is the first inspiration for it was writing writing all these sort of vocal percussion, body percussion, groovy things at the beginning to kind of cover what happens in the original. But then there's more polyphony for sure that I can write just like this and make it look clearer, I think. I think that's what this tune wants. Because the main theme is going to be simple enough for the singers. I mean, it's like a nursery rhyme for the singers. The band has some all kinds of cool stuff. They can, neo soul stuff they can play over it. And they get all Glasper on it, but the singers, that was my thought. Is like, man, we need some interesting. We need to be like a little bit of a tapestry in this chart. So that's what's going on here so far is open score. Although not using it in the first melody statement, which I'm thinking la da da hey do do da. Like we have to set it up with one melody statement at the beginning that's just an octave, and then da 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 da. But I think for me it's a little more. It burns my brain a little bit writing in open score, keeping track of what's going on vertically. But I always love those moments. I always love those moments in the in charts that I've written in the past where it had been dense or had been closed score writing for a long time, and then I busted open to some open, and then the possibilities for polyphony. Yeah, right. Yeah, she agrees. That opens up that stuff a little bit more. So yeah, I think this is where we go. How many are in the group, Christine? You don't know. You haven't auditioned them yet. Often it's between 12 and no more than 16. I don't know if I've seen you with a group bigger than 16. Have I? Yeah, and that's exactly. Yeah, note everyone what Christine is saying. Burns my ability to play the parts at the same time on the piano. That's the thing. That's the reason we write in closed score. It really helps the director in rehearsal mode, and the singers. I like it too as a singer to be able to see in closed score like what I'm next to. I'm next to that. I've got the half step and that. It's usually 12. The most you've ever had was 13. Okay, so definitely not even as big as the 16. So go into 8 is doable. It's fine. Going to 12 is doable. It's just know that means there's going to be some slight imbalance that you'll deal with, and you'll deal with it because, of course, we do that all the time. But yeah, so 6 is kind of a nice average. That's what Paris always talked about that. He's like, I love 12 for a group because it's just so easily, just like the groove, just like writing in 12/8, which we're kind of sort of doing here. I'm writing it in 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, get it, 1, get to get it, to get good. I'm doing that. I went back and forth. I started in the other way around, and kind of I only went back. I didn't go and forth. I just went back. So I switched. But yeah, Paris always talked about, you can make 4 really good. Gals will split up 2, 2, 2. We just love 12 in vocal jazz groups, don't we? So that was always what I aimed for in my groups too. The first groups I ever sang in were like, the small group, like 6 and, 8 kind of thing. But the more I was involved in vocal jazz, the more I appreciated the practical element of having 12. I mean, it also makes for a fatter sound. It helps the group actually sing. I mean, you sound in tune a little easier. I mean, the bigger the group is, but also it's still mobile. It still can move and stuff at 12. So I love that. Yep. That was always my ideal. Well, it wasn't always my ideal. I guess I didn't know. I didn't try to have an ideal until I got to grad school, really. But so, anywho's, rock stars is fun. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you too. And you're really the rock star. Don't you even worry about it. So, well, here's So the opening bit. There's not too much to see so far. Obviously, the opening. Fades, a ting, the drums take over, right, take it, ting, and you have a guitarist. You'll have a guitarist, Christine, I presume, right? I'll make sure. I'll get Steve Kowalczyk to come over and play on the demo. It's like Did that not play on that chord? Oh, it did play, but it's playing with... Oh, yeah. I need to... This is not... They're not all the same sounds. I'm going to put them back all into the ha. I go back and forth also on what kind of sounds I want for vocals when I'm listening to it all day. But I'll just take the ha today. I was on do the other day, and I was going to go electric piano, but yeah, that's fine, and that's the whole chord. But I don't love altos on that D flat. I might go second soprano there, and yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. Ah! Let's just start my second layer business here. No, and then meow, 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 meow. So, let's just do that. At least we can have stems up and down within the sopranos and have second soprano and all that. Meow, meow. And then, yeah, they can grab a breath. Is that going to move those or no? It's not. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, and then that no longer is alto. That altos get something else. And should I have done that sooner? I probably should have done it sooner. I don't want the tenors like the seventh note they sing in the song. It is almost the eighth note they sing. Is a ha. I know they can do it. I'm not afraid of their ability, but afraid of the effect. Thank you. Fine, those are now second sopranos. And this will just give me more stuff to drop below it without fear of duplicating notes and octave down and stuff, and it'll sound fine in that way. I'll pay you $1 million if you choose meow in the syllables. So I'll stop interrupting and let you work. Gotta catch a flight. Oh my God, go catch a flight. Great, I'm glad you joined us for a second. Good to see you. Hopefully by the time you land, there's tons of stuff done on this, so that should be the case. I'll use some meow. Let's see. So, oh, hi Nick. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in again, man. So, what is this? So we put the tenors up there. I'm happy about that. Basses were okay down here, just hitting on bar 2 of this phrase. So basses are helping us get through to this. Yeah. And then we have this. So then maybe tenors can hold also, and then that'll allow them to get in late. Now that we're using 5 in this bit. Ooh, we're up to 8. We're up to 8 people. I'm telling you, if we hit 10, I'm gonna play you a demo. So don't leave. I'm gonna play a demo that is exclusive because it is currently not. We just finished it 2 days ago. We finished the chart. So that's not true. 4 days ago, finished the chart, and then yesterday finished the demo. On the sunny side of the street chart, that's what Julie is meant to record today. She's planning on doing that, and then I am. Let's see. What am I writing next? I'm gonna in 2 days. So I'll record whatever we do here. I'll record this tomorrow, and maybe finish the chart if it's not done. If I pass out at the end of the night and it's not finished, I'll finish it tomorrow and then record my stuff on it. And that's kind of our pattern. Am I acquainted with the daughter of one of the High Lows members? Yes, I'm well acquainted with Jennifer Barnes. She's one of my good friends. My best friends. She's in my group, Vertical Voices. She's the alto singer in that group. And of course her dad is Don Shelton. So I think that's who you're talking about. and that is definitely the case. Jennifer's a fabulous human. Let's see, and a friend of all ours. Basically, we're all a very small, tight-knit vocal jazz community over here, at least in the States, and then we have some European friends as well, and we're just happy to keep expanding, opening up a bit. Okay, I'm killing time. I need to write an alto part here and then keep filling in the guys and figuring out what they're going to do. So this turns into be, this is going to be a warmer chord than I thought. So yeah, what the basses sang, now the tenors sing, and then what is this? So to make that warmer, E flat. They need a 13th in the bass, and then we're all set. Okay, let's see. So 4 parts, and then right here's where we start the 5 parts, and I think that's all we do in this section. Let's have these guys. You can hold for 2 more beats and then break. Basses need to be out at the B flat because that G flat is no good for the B flat major. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Neither is A flat at all. What am I doing? What about yeah. Yeah, let's just get yeah. Even if it's just a small let's let them work with yeah, B flat down, 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 down. That's a lot. But second sopranos move to the D flat after that, so they're covering it. So I think we're good. Oh, we're at 10. We're at 10 people watching. All right, I said if we hit 10 people watching at the same time, I was going to play a demo. I will not disappoint. Let me find this in my documents here real quick, but I'm going to play you the results of our most recent efforts. Here's my demo folder. Where are we? Let's see. Wrapped Around Your Finger. All right, here we go, everybody. The world premiere of my arrangement of Wrapped Around Your Finger as sung by me and Julia. Enjoy. Oops. I'll bring the chart for a second.
Hypnotized by you if I should linger, staring at the ring around your finger. I have only come here seeking knowledge, the things they would not teach me of in college.
I'm on alto on this one.
I can see your destiny you saw has turned into a shining band of gold. I'll be wrapped around your finger. I'll be wrapped around your finger. Mephistopheles is not your name. No, I know what you're up to just the same. Just the same. I will listen hard to your tuition. You will see it come to its fruition. Ba-do-ba-ba-do-ba. I'll be wrapped around your finger. I'll be wrapped around your finger. Behind me, vanish in the air. You'll never find me. I will turn your face to alabaster. When you find your servant is your master. Oh, you'll be wrapped around my finger. You'll be wrapped around my finger. You'll be wrapped around my finger. You'll be.
That's it. Yeah. So Julia Dallison on. Whoa. That's Baby Won't You Please Come Home. Sorry about the scare there. That's the other most recent one we've done, which I think I played on a recent session. Anyway, that's the demo. That is for Mountain View High School in Mesa, Arizona. They will debut that this year and start rehearsing it. I think they might have already started rehearsing it, actually, but wanted to make sure they had the demo and all their part tracks and everything for the beginning of next week, which is their, the real sort of start of the semester. And I have another, everybody's basically starting their school year right around now or so. And I'm trying to get everybody their charts as close to the beginning of the year as possible, which makes sense. Thanks, you guys, for your nice comments about that, Tessa and Ben and everybody. Raphael, thank you, buddy. Nick, everybody, I appreciate it. And Nick, your question was, you watched the interview with Michelle that I did on her, I guess, video podcast, or how you'd like to say, and just interview series. We talked about using auto-tune. Not auto-tune, it's more careful than that. It's pitch correction using graphic pitch correction using Melodyne, the program Salomonis Melodyne, which is kind of the standard in the industry, really, for doing editing of pitch and time. I edit my parts. I sing my stuff quickly. I'm not as good a singer as my wife by about well, by a large extent. She's considerably better than I am at singing, and so the way we leverage our collective talents in this household is that I will record all my stuff, and I'm even sometimes recording the alto part like I did on that last one, if it's pretty approachable for me, and then I'll tune it. It wouldn't have sounded as good before before I did the tuning on it, but I get it lined up so it sounds correct and professional, and the students, when they listen to it, will hear the right stuff. And then Julia comes in and sings soprano and second soprano solos. Sometimes she'll do that. Most of the time, usually the alto part as well. And she does not. We do not pitch correct her. It's the house rule not to tune her unless there's just very like one or two notes if we have to get something out immediately. But she wants to have everything natural that she's connected with. It's not an ego thing, really. It's the fact that it freaking sounds better. If you can get it's Collier, Jacob Collier sings without pitching, and it's a similar deal. Like if you can do it naturally, and if you can take the time to do it, you have the vocal stamina to do it. Julia has all that. She has the ability, and she'll spend the time in the studio to multiple takes until she really feels like she's got the best one that's going to be possible. That's how she does it. So that was her completely not pitched, and me completely pitched, and I'm not ashamed of that. That's just how we want to produce these recordings. They sound good like that, and it's a bit of an unachievable standard, but if you're listening to the demo, and it'll probably never sound quite as good live. For most situations, sometimes like really big choirs and stuff, that'll actually have more impact and stuff. But in the studio is the studio, and it allows you to get the pristine version of what you're going for. So anyway, that's how we'll do it. That's how we do our demos generally. I use Celemony. I use Melodyne on my parts, and then Julia, we do not tune. I can do I was thinking about doing the tuning of that one live and doing a broadcast. I don't know if people would actually be interested in watching it. It's quite tedious, the process. It's very slow. It's not auto-tune. I spend probably 3 hours or so individually, trying to get things to sound still natural, and not have that, do you believe in life after love? All that. So anyway, there's something to it. It works well for this business. Okay, back to tribal dance now. Studio parts greatly appreciated for the rehearsal purposes. Thanks. Yeah. It does help when you're listening and you know exactly that it's going to be in tune. There's no ambiguity about it. So, okay. So this opening, we're in the intro still. This is a wordless vocal chart entirely. So these will be syllables eventually too. So here's how we're doing it. We have 4 parts. We're splitting the top in this opening section. Yeah, so that's we figured I wanted to do with the guys there. Altos, let's get them in at. I already know I'm going to swap them. I'm going to do a swap with the bass part, just to get some motion here. So I'll just do that now. And let's see. Let's see. Just something like that to get them. Yeah, now that I don't have a D flat above, I can do C natural, get the sharp 11 in there. Otherwise, it would have been a little gross against the D flat. So, oh yeah, they can follow. I think that's gonna. Maybe I'll get them off on 3. Like do, or something like that. Okay. So basses, I'm happy to have that motion with for their parts right there. Hey, I'm just super curious. Out of the 9 people watching right now, I know several of you. Are any of you members of PST? I just wondered if anybody is actually performing this chart. Or maybe, okay, I shouldn't say that. You haven't been auditioned yet. Are any of you people who have in the past maybe been in PST, or you've been in Jazz and Tonic, and maybe you got your eye on the group or something like that? Let me know if you're out there and you're going to be a candidate for singing this music. Let's say that. I just made it awkward since you haven't done your auditions. But if that's not the case, if everybody is from other places, then also say hello if you like, or don't, and continue to lurk, which is also totally fine and actually more my style. Meanwhile, I'm going to pull up a visit from Invisijug, brought to you by Invisijug, for all your invisible jug needs. Tessa says, "Oh, here's to hoping I'm in Jazz and Tonic and auditioning." All right. Hey, fingers crossed. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make this happen. Christian Valdez, I know you, my friend. Just popped in and was in it last year, not returning this year, but so cool to see. You won a downbeat for your small group, I think, didn't you? Rebecca Ramirez, I'm a freshman at Long Beach. Oh, of course you are. Good to see you. I miss you too. Oh my gosh. Well, I thought there might be some Long Beach folks on board today. Well, I'm not going to make you sit and type a bunch, but I just wanted to know if you were out there. It always inspires me a bit to know that I'm writing for the people, or potentially the people that are going to be around this music or living it. So that's really cool. Good to see all of you. Lovely. Okay. So what have I done here? I had the tenors do this big move. Let's get the tenors up on the 13th. Let's just do they need a break. And that's just a color note, so they can do it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then I can just have them hold D flat. Ooh, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, that line's gonna work really well. I know it's hard to tell, but the tenors. Yeah, that's exactly what the tenors are supposed to do. It's as if it were pre-written. Yeah, that's exactly what. Only possible. No. That's exactly what it is. No. It's pre-written. I said, it has to happen that way. Okay. So let's do. Let's make the altos nudge up to that C a little bit. It's gonna, but just for a second. Ooh, cool. That gets them out of the way of the F that's about to come. Oh, cool. Breath. That's going to be nails. That's going to be so good. Okay, altos. Okay, we finished this pretty well, I think. Okay, so here's what this is in total in this little chunk. Okay, and it sounds a little airy and washy with that sound. That's going to be super hip. It takes a while to write these, but the result makes me happy every time. What I've started to figure out is generally I feel like I end up writing about 45 seconds of music every hour. Now we're about an hour and a half in, and this chart is at 1 minute, and I'm not done with it. Although this part won't be hard, because what I do now is I'm just going to write the bass part. Eventually, well, actually, I'm not done with the earlier part, but let me just do it real quick. I'll go back. So, yeah, and that is a G flat to me, at least. The E natural. It'd be really great to write, knowing that the bass player was gonna have a drop, something like a C or something. I could throw some really nice low notes in there, but I can't write with that known. The thing is, the bass player will add that stuff surely if they have it. I'm going to overwrite the bass a little bit because I'm going to use it also for my MIDI track, and in the future it might be helpful to cats to have it. However, this is going to be a slashes and chords piano part. I haven't written a lot of those lately, but that's my judgment here, is that'll be the best move. Okay, and then this is pretty much the same. Let's see. Now let's go down. Did I already do that? Yeah. Let's do like do I mean in case of a 5-string bass? Yeah, if they've got a low B string or something, or if they've yeah, basically it's that, or low C or something. If they've got, I guess it's usually the acoustics that do the drop C thing. But yeah, I always like to know if I can do that. I don't know already that their bass player has that ability. Let's just keep writing this. Well, it's a little boring. Here, I'll come do that later. Let me quickly throw in the changes in this spot then. Yeah. So, okay, once again, this intro. Goes on from there. Julian Kerry, man, that's my guy. Julian is a prodigious former student of mine who got his undergrad degree and went off teaching in Thailand now. He says it's real late at night over here. Oh, I knew it. Of course it is, but I had to pop in at least for a little while. Can't wait to hear this in its final glory. Makes me happy to see you, man. I'm glad you're here. Well, yeah. Do you know? Wondering if you all collectively, if you don't know the original Lionel Loueke tune, I would suggest you could even take a break, from this thing and listen real quick, at least to the head in, or listen to the first couple minutes until it goes into blowing on the Lionel tune. Just search it, Loueke is his last name, and yeah, Tribal Dance is the tune. And yeah, just search that out and listen to it a little bit. I think it'll help you understand that. But I'm not playing the recording here. I'm seeing how long I can go. Maybe not doing that, so that I can not have the copyright thing come up. So what do the basses need to do at this stage then? God, Julian, I'm so interested to get an update, like for like how your year is going with the kids and stuff. Let's see. Oh, your one checked him out. Yeah, that's cool. So, hi, Susan. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. I think the basses, let's see, at this stage, they're going to need we need to get them to an E flat to finish this chord. So they've just had the E flat earlier, and their whole roll was laying out 3 bars of that E flat. Or, I mean, I sang the wrong word. G flat is the way that word is. I'm thinking of the chord E flat minor. So I think they need to do that again. I'd like for them to move sooner than I have them moving a few bars. But actually, they don't need to. Basses, you get to do, yeah, same thing actually again. And then finally, yeah, then they'll get to do something else. And that's because the chord changes underneath them. Okay, so I think this is actually it for the intro. Syllables, I may add all of the syllables after writing the whole chart. Okay, so then we're there. Yeah, that's pretty much it then. Okay, so here we're gonna just write the. We're just gonna do rhythmic notation. Well, I'm gonna try to do rhythmic notation. Okay, I think I just did that twice as much as I needed to do. I did, but I think all these chords are unique here. I'm gonna, just to be sure, without scanning it really quickly, I don't know, but Wayfair, you have to stop sending me emails. We bought one thing. Okay. So then we won't experience these changes, but I can play them. My time is terrible compared to trying to play with that. Anyway, that's what happens there roughly. Guitar also being involved, and I don't know how. I'm going to look at the phrasing real quick on this because I'm not sure it makes sense. I think we'll start by. We'll just do 4-bar phrases at the beginning, I think, of this. Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this. That's why this made more sense. Sorry. It's because that line coming up. So we're actually doing an offset 4-bar phrase. This is where I actually wanted to break it. and then I'll do a quick breath here, and then I'll blow these guys in, blow this through. Ba-da-da-da-da. And then let's start writing chords now. This is the part that could well be written in closed score, but I'm just staying consistent. Hi, Cassie. Cassie from Long Beach here. I was in last year's PST. All right, thank you for recording this live. It's amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Really happy to see you. And again, like I was trying to collect as many Long Beach cats as I could. It just feels great writing with you guys viewing. So that's really fun. Glad you're here, Cassie. Yeah. And then let's do. Okay, listen to the original. Love the guitar solo in the middle. You're gonna have a guitar upper voice, do some iteration of it. I don't know. It's all well, probably vocal improv is gonna happen there. I don't think I'm gonna take down. I don't think I'm gonna transcribe the guitar solo necessarily. I think if anything, I'll just prescribe something. I'll just write some development material. I think there's going to be a lot of development material in this, relatively speaking, because because we've almost seen all the material that they write in the tune. This is it. Letter E, the same repeat. It's a really super hip tune, but it's also a total of 48 measures of material to work with, or something, or 56 total. It's just not a ton, not 40, 56 or so bars, quick bars at this 1, 2, 3, and that's all the information that's in the chart. Some of it's repetitive within itself. And so in order to keep it interesting for the audience, we're going to have to do something aside from, this tune does not modulate. I'm hereby calling it at 137 into this. I'm saying it's not going to modulate. But what I think it's going to do is I might reharm based around, like how might one reharm this melody? I don't know. It's just for example. Let's do a full reharm of a soprano melody one time. Here's a spot. So say I have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of blah blah blah. Okay, and then here's a head out. And what if we totally reharmonized it? Let me put the changes up here. Actually, I need to move this back. I'm gonna put it in alto for now, and I'm gonna put it up here, and then I'm gonna get rid of this. I was thinking about doing this anyway, or pretty soon, just to get an idea if I was gonna pull this off. So yeah, I'll leave the original changes up in down in the alto. That's what I'll do, and then I'll remove the changes from the top. And then we'll experiment with, let's see if we can come up with yet another reharm on this melody. So we'll just stick this here for future reference, and then we'll add bars and delete them around it and decide if we're even going to use this material. Okay, so okay, let's set some ground rules. Let's only use the type of chords that they use. So that's major 7 chords and minor 7 chords. That's all that's in it. No dominant, no sus. That'll be our challenge, and it's going to limit our palette, but it'll help make me not write dumb things. So let's start with A flat, major 13. Okay, we can do this. F major 7 over A. So so this is now, we'll do F minor 11, E major 7 flat 5. So it's kind of like the downbeat chord of that, but it's just getting there late. The rule here is anything goes. You can go from any point to any point when you're using these types of chords. The minor chords, maybe that's a bit of an overstatement to say that about the minor chords, but the major chords can go absolutely anywhere, and the more seemingly randomly they move, the more it sounds like this sort of neo-soul Glasperian approach to my ears. It's gotten a little minory just with those two, so I better keep going major here. So I'm just repositioning the chords, but some of them I'm reusing. So B flat or B major 13 is definitely part of this. It's almost like I'm scooting them over by one. It makes me want to, but I don't want to do things that are that obvious. Ninth. So it's like a remix of the harmony, really, if I reuse some of these chords here. So if I G flat major 7, whatever. So let's do G major 7 here instead. G major 7 sharp 11. Whatever. 9 sharp 11. And then it's a little parallel. Oh, that's okay. It moves up. How about F minor we've already used, so let me not take advantage of that. So this is D flat minor 9 to D major 7, D major 9. So but again, my tendency to move by steps, I have to do a little bit more jumping. So normally goes to B major there, so I can't do that. I just tried. That's about this. No, I could do E there. No, I want to make sure it works with this. Whatever it is, right? So. Okay, fine. I'm gonna make it smooth bass line motion there. That's good because that works really well to go E flat minor 11. Let's go, yeah, full reharm, not even using our old stuff here. Let's see. No, we should probably do it in the same spirit. So yeah, so let's reuse this material and that, and then I think And then I'll just make this last resolution chord fit better. Let's see. No. Should we then go back to our, let's go back to the original changes in the tune at this point and just integrate them. So let's start that by going to the B major here that is from the original, because you can get there from D major 7, that's fine. Get to any major chord from any major chord. And then, yeah, put this back. I'm just curious about the conceptual idea now of doing, what if I could go back to these changes again? If I could now, yeah, reintegrate the reharm. So like, so if it was so in this section, let's do. This is, by the way, just if you're catching up, I'm writing the head out ideas here. The idea of let's have these changes the whole time, and then we'll teach them to the audience essentially gradually throughout the tune, and then we throw in a reharm of a tune that again seems like it doesn't warrant reharm because it's hip already. But it set our palette up to where we can take that kind of modal reharm and it sounds completely fine. It'll actually be harder to perform for the ensemble because of that reharm. Then it's the kind of thing that takes away some value if you're trying to write a like easier educational based chart. The audience won't perceive the reharm as clearly as like educated musicians in the audience who will all kind of make stank face. They're like, oh, that's what they'll do when those things happen. Moms and dads will be like, oh, isn't that such a pretty song? I wish they would sing words though. that's what I expect. Okay, so we'll use the first 4 chords of this at least. Let's see what happens if we try to reharm the last 4 chords. Again, no dominant chords allowed, no sus chords, no diminished, none of that. Not even, yeah, we're not writing a single one of those in this chart because the original doesn't have them, and we want to stay in the same sonic realm. So, yeah, so this is the most obvious thing for me is F minor 11 here. It's kind of still in the same sonic space. We do have minor chords. Oh, makes me want to do a sus. Oh yeah, no, but A flat major will be super sick here. So A flat major 13, and then what did I do? So this can be. Oh, this is exciting because I'll hold this across a little longer. And this will be G flat major 13. And then they'll do that. Okay. And then we can use this as the same pivot chord back into whatever ends up being next. Which I kind of wonder if it's not gonna just be this vamp, the first instance of this vamp we have. In fact, I'm gonna bring it over. I think that's what it's going to be. I'm just picturing ahead, looking ahead to the end of the chart. It'll be this drum solo vamp, and then so we'll have got to add a bunch of bars. It happens for a while. It's also repeated things, so I might need as little as 240 bars. No, as few as 24 bars. Good lordy days. Okay, 24. Thank you. Put that right meow. Yeah, and then if I remember right, this is going to do this. It's going to do start repeat. It's going to do this for a minute. Golly, G and Christmas. Okay. Clear that again. And yeah, this will be maybe open, and then we'll get out of it into some vocals. This will be going on here, but the vocals will sing something. Maybe I'll make that no, it's going to need to build. So yeah, we're going to start a chunk here, and let's see. Yeah. So we'll build. I'll even give another double bar. It's going to build some more. Polyphonic magic. Oh, I needed more bars at end. And something like, something like another, just 10 bars at the end. I don't know what this will be. It might just even be 3 more bars down. Yeah, this is the end, whatever that's going to be. So this is the ending of the chart. So at the moment, roughly, I'm at 4 now. Yeah, but that's not going to be the case. We're going to have an open, or we'll have a solo section here. First of all, this open section without the vocals in should be, let's see. Let's do this 3 times. So it'll play 4 times total. And then this will be the same length. I think, God, I'm going to want another one of these. Okay, so more bars. Extra 10 more bars, roughly. And then throw another one of these, 16 bars here. And then that's the end of the tune. So it's going to develop 3 of those. I wanted the development to be a little longer than still with drum solo underneath, but I just wanted the development to be a little longer than what the pre-development did. So this pre-development is here with the drum solo vamps. The drum solo is happening for how long? It begins at 3 minutes at the moment. I mean, I'll add some stuff. So 3.5 minutes, and then the drum solo with the singers ending at, yes, it sounds like 1 minute and 10 seconds of drum feature, which is roughly, it's fair. It's around what it is in the original recording. I mean, there's a lot of drum feature at the end. So, okay. Getting out here, adding some rehearsal letters, because this actually is, I think I'm going to choose to use this reharm. Okay, so yeah, we'll set this up for later. We'll come write it when we feel like we're ready for it. All of this is the land of solo section. And yeah, let's see. And it's going to need a lot. There's going to be a whole lot more bars. So let's just give us another 50. Another 100 bars, because let's see. I don't know. Let's just see about this. Getting into schematic form, where we're thinking about the whole progress of the tune and how it's going to go. So let's give myself a bunch of these, and I'll throw some changes on top of it. Imagine a vocal solo and an instrumental solo might be good. Like definitely could get away with a guitar solo in this tune. Okay, so here are the changes, the beginning of those. Copy and pull those into this section here. Give myself some rehearsal letters. This is the first instance of those changes. Vocal solo first, and then guitar solo with more active backgrounds probably is what's going to be appropriate. And okay, here is a double bar. Continued solo, continued solo. It's the D flat. That's the beginning of the sort of bridge of this form. And then that's the end of that solo. And now beginning of guitar solo. Just give myself some of those. Put these here. They're just on a different line, these things, so you have to do them separate. But need to give them the changes. Sticking with the same changes for blowing, for sure. And then, yeah, the reharm then coming out of the solo section, I think will be effective enough without. So we'll just do some active backgrounds and push this solo into this next section. Oh, good. We definitely don't want the chord diagram. So one chorus through a guitar solo, and then actually this is where we'll connect with our reharmonized section. How does that sound coming out? Yeah. I imagine a cappella. A little, oh yeah, this could be a high information a cappella kind of thing here, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, that's a reasonable use of this section. And then we go into the drum vamp ending. We develop, they build, and then some kind of ending. And then clock time is a little more precise now. Where are we? We're at 6 minutes. Can be cut down by cutting a solo out, and so if that's a little too much. But I think that's kind of what this tune asks for. What's the original? It's 7 minutes and 14 seconds, so we're actually doing a little bit less with that anyway. So no problem. Weird. Oh, it's because this is, it doesn't really matter if I move these now. I'll move them later. Okay. All of this is, this is guitar solo that I have not broken into rehearsal letter stuff yet, so I better, 3, that'll be 09, yeah, that's the halfway point of that, and then da-da-da is D flat, so here's your other rehearsal letter, and our schematic is now hereby laid out. Cool. Okay, so we're going to write a bunch of vocals, to this whole chart. Some slightly simpler ones not slightly, significantly simpler vocal backgrounds underneath the end of the vocal solo, but some backgrounds, I think, for interest. Maybe like 2-part stuff or something a little less intense. And then, this with open score, this tune's going to be 27 pages long. Probably exactly 27 pages long. It can be a lot with a lot of syllables too. Sometimes that gets a little, I don't know, gets a little long. Okay, then the first part of the guitar solo. Yeah, I'm going to restart backgrounds, BGVs in at letter M, and build, build, build. BGV, big development. So tons of that there. Actually, no acapella break here. What this will be actually is going to be up an octave, the melody, with this reharm. Yeah. Yeah, all this up the octave, and then in fact, was there an earlier spot where I was supposed to bring the melody up higher? I didn't really consider that. Yoron says, you create PDF parts with only vocals, band to reduce pages? Oh no, definitely. I create parts that break it down into just the vocals with the solo and all that, and then just guitar, just the piano, just the bass, and then there's a score. But the score is in the vocal jazz, like with rhythm section community, it's less common. Like we don't always have scores for these charts. It's odd. You would certainly think that we would. But yeah, for some reason, that's just not been a thing that we've done a lot of. So I think we're going to need at least one statement of this melody up the octave. Okay, I see. Here's where we'll do it. Yeah, it'll just start here. So that means we'll hear. Yeah, it'll be the last time we hear. Like this will be the last time we hear that in the lower register. From the end, the whole thing is big and building. Okay, that's the layout. Now time to execute it. There's an argument that I could write the rhythm section parts and would be a smart young man to do that. Let's see. There are some slight differences in the changes, and I want to rewrite it. So let me just, I'm just going to write a bass part real quick. Yeah, I've seen big band arrangements, very living conductor scores make wonder how they would actually worked in the past. Yeah, those are really weird where they just have like the lead trumpet line and maybe cues to like saxes have this line on their own or whatever, like descriptions of stuff. I've seen that too. Oh, And so that'll be a strong, and then we'll get strongly into that B major over D. Let me do something different with this now. So just building in variety. I'll just hold it there, and then is this the first statement of? I think this is the first statement of the D flat. Yeah, this is the first time we see it where I'm writing right now. So having this in place will help me a lot as I'm writing, and I can listen back, and just being able to have the reference here will be very useful to the bass part. So it's not entirely practical because it's not just for practical purposes that I would write the bass part in at this stage. Let's just do. Slightly varied. Again, another variation. Bum, 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 bum. So it's like it's building with anxiety. Ball, so you bang, bang, drop it to the bottom note. Ball, bang, bang, ball. And this, I swear, I can just copy now, because I don't think. Yeah, I've already made notes for that, so I'm going to copy 16 back. Is the first 16, yeah. So I'll just double check that all the changes agree. Just straight copy, actually. And then I could put that here. Boink. And I've already written in some of this that I know happens. And then I can get those later. Let me do 5th through 8th bar of that. I'll just copy back that. So this is 5th through 8th bars. Grabbing that and putting it over meow. Oh yeah, this is. Okay, so this line doesn't work as well. So I'll do bum, bum. It'll just look a little bit better like the. And then I think some of this is different, so I'm just gonna. I think this is a slightly reharm of their own here that I already took note of. And then, yeah, I'll definitely use like a Jocko. That's this tone I want to use when I record this thing. Yeah, let's go low. No, not there. We'll go low later. Come on, man. Having trouble singing a little bit. All the way down. Still not going to use it. And then I'll see if remind myself if there's anything interesting I wrote in this section for the solos. I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's fine to put here. And then we're in the solo section, which, yeah. Solo section, I actually will put slashes for the bass. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so let me get these changes down into the bass part. And then I'll be kind of wrapped with this section of the bass. And voila. Okay, cool. Dig that now. So all I haven't done is write for guitar, which it just can be, can be slashes and rhythmic notation and chords. That would be fine, and then they'll just have the role of a solo. So it doesn't have to be super specific. I could give them lines though here and there. Let me go ahead and play this intro one more time. Again, remembering that the real long intro is the they've got all that business going, and then we have this first entrance of the chords, brought to you by InvisJug. Okay, so how does this develop? Is it polyphonically yet? I don't think so. I think we should be more patient. Yeah, it's tempting to go but let's write chords. It really would be slick in this chart to have some two sections of two part. Man, I'd better. You guys, I'd better. Here's what you gotta do. You gotta have, if you're me right now, you gotta have this action happening. This and a baritone part. And you're gonna throw them up here. And you're gonna focus on staves. Are you gonna ask me if I wanna? Hello? Why did that? Oh, it added them. It just didn't say anything about it. So here's what's really happening. I'm going to get rid of this. Oops. Move it. Why can't I grab that? It. More precise, apparently. Come on, Sibelius. You're embarrassing yourself in front of everybody. So then I need a bracket. Brace or bracket? Which one is it? It's a bracket. This is tenor bass. This is soprano alto. And anytime I don't need them broken up, I am going to put them onto this. I'm going to put them into this situation because it's getting a little silly. Just when I have this. So this actually belongs there, as will all of this. And and so will this too, because I know F is going to go polyphonic a little bit, so I'll keep that where it is. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Yeah, I can hear the effect of this is going to work. Okay, so okay, I know I need to write my C in there to remind myself to do it, but so yeah, here it's gonna hit, and we'll make sure we have a sort of polyphonic, nice low polyphonic conclusion, and that'll be the only instance where the chart does that. Here, I just double check really quick. I don't think, yeah, this was all entirely octave stuff. And this was the guys down the octave, so nothing else to do but that. And then I haven't written anything else yet. Cool? Does that make sense? Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll do like a focus on staves thing at some point if I need to, if it's getting annoying to see all these tracks. But so let's do so then the guys will jump from da 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 da. They'll sing in sixths at first. We never want this. We want a C beat 3. Yeah. Okay, so let's finish these voicings. I need to fix this for the whole chart. Where these exist. There's gonna be a lot of them. So I'll just I gotta be true to my beliefs about these rhythmic notation things. If I'm writing in 3 and it's not 6/8, I really don't need to write it like it's 6/8, or it's just not quite right. It's just gonna bug me. So annoying, not creative, but necessary. And have to do with the dudes eventually too. Where's the note? I can't find the note that I'm trying to write on. It's really hard to see. I wish it would highlight in something brighter, more obvious. Yeah, so you know, and some of these too, I think I've been cutting them off on the ands of 3, but that's going to be hard if we were feeling it in 3. So I'll fix those as well. Something like this needs a tie. And here, yeah, this is good actually, but it just should be a whole or a half note. Hi Andrew, hopefully I'm not taking you out of your flow, but had a question. That's okay, my flow involves you. What graduate schools are recommended for researching for jazz comp and arranging? Miami and North Texas primarily. To start with, Eastman. Yeah, absolutely. I think that was the best way to get into flow state is to just live stream. For me, best way to get into flow state is to make sure that if you're asking about flow state, you might already know. You might already watch like TED Talks by me, Chick Set Me High and stuff, and watch people talk about it on YouTube. Tons of beautiful stuff written about it, but it depends on the activity you're involved in mostly. You know, whether or not you'll have a good time getting into it. I mean, certainly if you're pretty good at playing Smash Brothers, you can get into flow state playing Smash, right? or mining in Minecraft, or gardening. Whatever it is, the point of it, I think you might be aware, is that you have to avoid both boredom and frustration on like a graph. And the graph is going to look weird from your angle. Can I do it this way? And so the idea of flow exists where your ability meets the challenge just perfectly, to where you're being challenged, you're having to think about stuff, you're engaged, but you also are losing track of time, and you're having fun in a way. But it's more than just having fun. All of your attention is focused on the activity. So this all is the activity, which is why I don't think you break my flow. I know that the red light's flashing. I know there's 6 people watching right now, and that if there were 6 people sitting in the room, this is kind of what I imagine a little bit. I don't really constantly think of it like this, but it's the same as if there literally are 6 people sitting here with, and if I had everything projected onto a big screen and everybody's watching, I can't, it's really hard to break my flow when I know that that's happening. So this is how it benefits me, and I've talked about that plenty on this. So in other words, it doesn't allow me to go out of this state. And the Pomodoro effect is another thing to look into. Essentially, that once if you dedicate yourself to doing something for X period of time, something like 20 minutes or more, then once you've done that, you're likely, if it's an activity that is at the right level, it's not boring and it's not frustrating, then you'll find yourself in flow. So that's my experience of it, and boy, is it real. It's very, very valuable. So good question. Very good question, man. But yeah, those were my answers. Miami, North Texas, Eastman, and USC, pretty good for comp and arranging. I think depends on how much vocal versus instrumental you want to do, I think. But vocal stuff, yeah, plenty good people to work with at both the first 2 that I mentioned, Miami, North Texas. And of course, UNC is obvious to me because I teach there. So of course I would recommend UNC and Drew Zaremba and all the tons of different writers that are there, that are working on. Pomodoro. Yeah, 20 minutes and then Pomodoro. What's the effect? I don't know. The effect is that you get work done. It's productivity, but I don't know that they've named that part of the effect. I used to find that when I played video games, quit for studying, realized getting into flow would be easy, but finding ways to get into flow, practicing something that I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, totally get it. So that's it. Yeah, figuring out something, getting into flow for something you're trying to figure out, maybe creating, this is just brainstorming, but just, creating some practice routines that are, or whose was the original Pomodoro effect? I don't, that's different from, I don't know who came up with that originally. It's you can find it online easily, but the flow state, it goes all the way back probably to Buddhist thinkers and the Eastern thinkers and some. The song you mean? Anyway, Mihai, Csikszentmihalyi, which is a name I can't spell. Mickh. It's a difficult name for me to spell. The original on this is Lionel Loueke. Lionel Loueke. Loueke, Loueke. That's how you find this on Tribal Dance. Okay, so now we've got. So nice low voicing here. And then. Let's get the guys up to the crunch with the 9th. Oops, not yet. That's the next chord. And I think. And then let's get the altos down. Okay, now that I'm in 4 parts, let's stay there. Da, 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 and then whatever's left, basically. This will be fun. It's dark, but it'll sound really pretty, I think. Now these chords are fun. You know the altos? What are they gonna do? They can take the third? Nah. Whoops. Let's take a third away, but yeah. So that, and then and that. Let's see if I like this coming up. So this is there, and this is da-da. And then this was da-da. So it's da-da. So these are new voicings for this exact figure. Da-da. So let's take advantage of what we already know that is going to work. Da-da. I'll just turn that into half note, and then and I think it added a second B major 7. Yes, it did. Let's open this up on the first chord. The root and the bottom, unusual for a second, but that'll be the effect. That's the effect part of it, and then practicality is below. Just bring the guys up. Let's see. Let's do octave, and then guys jump the 6th. And the reason we have to have, we can't try to build chords out of a wrong note and a C natural. Is the melody there? It's looking ahead, but the chord of the moment still is B major 7, so it's quite a wrong note. We don't want to try to build a chord underneath that. The chord would sound weird, or and we're not trying to go da da da. We're not trying to do an approach technique either. So the only fix for this, I usually find, when that's the case, like it sounds good in the original. You didn't notice it until you started to look at the changes. And you're like, oh no, like B major 7, but then there's B flat, which is, that's fine, it's the major 7th, but it's in C, and they treat it like it's part of the melody, but it's really anticipating the D flat major 13 that comes next, all of that. You're thinking all that stuff. The move then is to leave it and let it be wrong. Sometimes my ego has been like, I want to write asterisk. I know this is wrong, and I didn't want to do this. I did do this in a chart that was a Kurt Elling thing, and there was reharm, but then he kind of sang the diatonic thing that would have gone over the original changes, but the reharm made it kind of wrong, but that's, whatever. Well, yeah, that's just your ego. And I don't really need that. I'm just afraid of somebody who's a music theory wonk looking at this and saying, wait a minute, did he write that, or is that from the original? And it is from the original, but I also know practically in advance that I'm not going to be able to write a chord that works on this C. Like really hard. I mean, I guess you could. I don't know that, but that's my sense of it there. I think we can blow. So if it's and because we're a jazz choir, sorry, yeah. Because we're a jazz choir, we're gonna sing all the way through this. We're gonna do sharp 11 on this bad boy, and it's gonna be 3-part upper structure, and then probably that maybe. Just tertian. Tertian will be really strong here, right? After the low voicings, this will be really transcendent and beautiful. And then all we do is we move up. So that's a slur. And it's going to be a slur down here, so technically I have to write a slur underneath just for the one little, yeah, moving. Okay, do I have a bass part written yet? Okay, I have a bass part, so we can hear what this is going to sound like harmonically in context, just getting into it from 4 bars earlier. Easy. Okay, so this I'm going to do differently. I'm going to go ahead and do the nudge onto the 13th, but I don't like holding it and then moving to the A flat. So let's increase the voice leading, get off of the dissonance. So it's simple. That's all we want to do. It's probably going to be a slur of some sort, so I'll just put that. Okay, we have this down here, don't we? Okay. Yeah, and then this is the same. Oh, except I didn't really want it written that way. Quarter is what we want. I'm going to have to fix these in so many places where they're not fixed yet. Same deal, right? Even a top level group can repeat a thing. That's fine. Yeah, because that voicing works for both. Yeah. It's one of those nice, handy voicings that serves 2 purposes. The 2 different bass notes would make that sound good. And so we like it very much. Weird slur. Why is it different this time? Oh, wait. Oh, because I still have a tie. Inappropriately, I have a tie there, and I need it there. Okay. I was going to say, it should look exactly the same. Here is where I get a little anxious about repeating, right? Wouldn't you? Let's see. I made the excuse that it's okay. Oh shoot. Man, this is a 1 beat. We're gonna get a 1 beat breath there. Oh, well, okay, awkward. Here. Yes, that slur down needs to go this far. But yeah, we're just gonna want as much clock time out of this fun voicing as we can get. It's gonna be nice and lush. We want more. So what I really meant to do was do that. This is the same. Why am I doing different things? yeah, and I'll just write this in. Okay. it gets kind of funny because that's slur tie continues. This tie continues. Actually, and this is another tie, but because there's been any motion, any melismatic motion in it at all, we have to have the slur over the whole thing. Funny looking, but it's fine. And then let's see. I'd like some polyphony here, but I don't know, but I'm just gonna write the thing I'm hearing. Let's do like a floaty triplet thing. And then we'll repeat this. So it'll just give us, because we've broken it up, it gives us a chance, it gives us the opportunity to kind of repeat this idea. And then we'll cut off on 3, and they're good, so they'll remember that. Is that intended? The 84 to 88 note length, the first beat of soprano is different. Oh, probably not intended. Oh, no, not intended. No, I just didn't fix that. Thank you. That's the deal. Let's see. So I guess we'll keep this, actually. We'll keep this the same. Yeah. So it's just the dudes changing to throw. We just needed something else to happen, or else why are we writing a track? I'm just not. I'm not patient enough to be okay with it, even though I love the sound of those chords. Okay. Okay. So here it really is. Delete that. So we'll just do. And then they've got to hold that chord. And then we don't need the slur anymore. And like that. Would you like to have expected the fourth time to be also different the first and second? Yep. Yes, that is. You will notice that's what I've just done, but because of our delay, you didn't see me do it yet, most likely. So yeah. Yeah, that's my discomfort. That's my discomfort with that. It just feels like it needs to, like we've left this moment. Now we can have it again. But we're gonna have to develop it in a different way. So in fact, what I'll do, I'll take this. I think I'm gonna be back in this close score at this stage, probably after writing this next section. And so might as well be here. And then that's right. Streaming delay for the win. Well, no, it just shows that you're getting inside my head, and you know what I'm thinking. am I inside yours? My buddy just texted me, holy something. I don't know what it's about. I'll have to check it later. Okay. So here we are. Let's just go over, let's go back and feel what we have. And that was a quick burst of productivity on the chart we just knocked out. So we're now up to, except for the piano part, we're now finally a minute and a half into the chart, which should be about right if we ended at 3 hours. I do tend to say I can write 45 seconds of music. For about 45 seconds of music in this time, so in 3 hours. So that's, I mean, in a minute and a half in 3 hours, 45 seconds. Sorry, I'm working that out. Even on stretchy contemporary music like this, it tends to be about the same. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it meow for the piano. I'm going to get rid of the changes because I think there's some differences, and there are differences. I'm going to just take them from the new bass part, or just take them to the new section of the bass part. What did I do? That was dumb. Undo that. Yeah. Get rid of only the chords. Get rid of my keypad. Okay. And here. And then this section can be, come on, baby, come on. Come on, make a dotted half note, thank you. Okay, and then I can copy this bit. Okay, so let me just throw this together real quick. Rhythmic notation to indicate that we're floating. Move the chords up. Make a little note about it floating. Floatier high colors. So we want them to bling, blong, 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 add some stuff up there. We don't need the floating note here, the notey float. And then once again, for these last 32 bars, no, what it is this. That was not a mistake of the use of is. The thing of it is that you've got a blah, blah, blah. I'm just noticing that last night. There's somebody on some clip that I was watching that used the is thing all the time. Yaron, do you know about is? Do you know how we do that? Do you know how at least Americans do that a bunch? I don't think that's probably a British thing. What we're going to do is take the blah blah blah, and for some reason we just it's really odd. The thing of it is that you've got a da da da. It just bugs the snot out of me. I don't know why. Okay, double checking here. Da, da, da. This is a different rhythm. Tagada 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 tagada. Oh God. Copy that. Oh, cut it. Oh yeah, and this is actually going E flat minor here. I should just do like I was. Yeah, I should just do like I was doing before, but I guess I've ruined that now. E flat minor 7 or 9 rather. G flat major 7, and then that agrees. This is fine. This is fine. And then I need another one of. I need something like this, and then I'll change it. Those changes are, in fact, these that I will pull up from below, or this that I will pull from here, and this that I will pull from here. thing is that the thing is that it does not seem too weird. Yeah. The thing is that it doesn't seem too weird. I know. No, we use, it's like Gestalt or something, but I don't know. Our ears go right past it. We don't notice it unless it's called to our attention. So congratulations, everyone. I've now called it to everyone's attention today. You're going to hear everybody do it all day long, in English at least. But every language must have its own thing. Dutch must have its things like that too, right? Okay, so the development is going to be. So now we're going to develop this part of the melody. Let's just do this. This is challenging to remember to cut this off on one, but challenging is the name of the game for PST. They know how to sing challenging. And again, it's challenging. It's not going to seem flashy, but it's the kind of subtle variation on a thing that tends to be hard to remember. God dang it! Okay, get rid of that. Push S and I've got it. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna have to do the wrong thing. Again, we're gonna hear this. So that's the way I've chosen to do all the. Let's do this slightly different second time. Get to this chord. Yeah, let's do this. So it's so different that they got to practice the separate sections a lot and get used to these changes. I'm gonna do it again. What I just did. And then same voicing, honestly, going into and then because this gets us into our solo section, let's get it a little bit bigger. Guys can have that, I think, right? Yeah. And what the guys should be on here for B flat would have been this. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. That's good. At least it gets into the same deal. How does that voicing affect their structure? It already doesn't have a third. Yeah, that's fine. And then, so finally, we'll go there. Let's let's go to this bigger chord, and then the guys will come down. I guess give a big crunch right before the break. That bass is intense. Bass and berries. Yeah. I can hear that right now. Okay, so this section now, we've skipped the polyphony. Okay. And then solos happen for a while, then backgrounds begin in the second section, and then backgrounds, guitar solo, same deal, backgrounds again in building, and then our reharm, which if you remember now, our reharm of the melody was... And then normal changes. No, not. So the audience will not probably recognize that they heard a bunch of different chords at O and they're hearing it P. They'll probably recognize, oh, okay, it sounded really, yeah, that is what I thought it was. Maybe they'll have that reaction, or they'll just listen and nod their heads. But not sure. But this reharm happens here, I think, will be effective as well. So, boy, interestingly enough, the chart is half written at this point in 3 hours. It's odd to me because I really pictured this chart taking more clock time, but some of the ideas are falling into place pretty well. Maybe it's not half written. Maybe it's a little over. Well, I don't know. It's 40%, 2/5. But it is time for me to take a break here. So I am going to leave this polyphony to write when I come back, finish the head in. I might do a little bit of work off stream, and I'm going to call my folks. So I'm going to say probably good night to most of my European friends. And I'm going to plan on coming back at like 3:30. Let me come back at 4 Mountain Time. Yeah, so Pacific Time, 3 o'clock if you're around and you want to check it out. Those of you who are around for that, that'll be my plan here. So thanks everyone as always, and everyone else for being here with me. And yeah, I'm gonna come back at 4 o'clock tonight. So today, and then try to work all night to finish this chart. Very excited about it, loving how it's going so far. It's a great idea to do it, and it's going to be neat. So, all right, that is all for now.